Laws that are important among politicians, celebrities, and those in power. Law 1. Never overshadow your boss. When trying to impress those above you, avoid showing off your talents excessively. Doing so may make your superior feel insecure and prompt them to look for ways to replace you. For example, imagine you are 22 years old and have started a new job where your team leader is 40. After a few months, you realize you know more than your team leader and have better ideas for your team or department. In this situation, never display your superiority because powerful individuals dislike appearing weak. Your extensive knowledge could threaten your team leader's position. They may smile at you and appear pleased with your work, but rest assured that at the first opportunity, they will replace you with someone less talented. Always know your boundaries. If you want to implement your ideas, present them in a way that makes your superior look good and intelligent, even if you know otherwise. Law 2. Never trust your friends too much. Learn how to use your enemies. The key to power lies in knowing who is best suited to help you in any situation. Keep friends for companionship, but work with skilled and efficient individuals, especially when dealing with serious matters. In such cases, distance yourself from friends entirely. Surprisingly, an enemy can sometimes be more loyal than a friend because they feel the need to prove themselves to you. Be cautious of friends. They are more likely to feel jealousy or betrayal toward you, which can ultimately limit your power. It's harder to maintain professional boundaries with friends since they often hide their true feelings or intentions. People generally like to believe they achieve their success on their own. This is why friends easily forget the favors you've done for them and assume they earned everything themselves. Law 3. Always speak less than necessary. The more you talk, the less impactful and authoritative you seem, and the greater the chance of saying something foolish. Powerful individuals tend to speak sparingly. This makes them appear influential and mysterious because it's difficult to guess what they are thinking. During discussions or negotiations, be mindful of your words. They can easily backfire on you. If you're dealing with a strong negotiator, you'll notice they speak briefly and then remain silent, waiting for you to fill the silence. Law 4. Win through action. It is far more powerful to convince others through actions rather than words. For example, Michelangelo, the famous sculptor, was working on a statue when the proud mayor of the city entered and commented that the statue's nose was too big. Michelangelo knew it was perfect. It was simply the angle from which the mayor was viewing it that caused this impression. Instead of arguing, Michelangelo gently tapped on the nose without altering it, just brushing off some dust left behind, and said, "Now look at it and tell me if it looks right." The mayor looked again and said, "Yes, it looks great." Arguments won through conversation are short-lived and often create resentment. Therefore, always win through action rather than debate. Law 5. Avoid infection. Stay away from unfortunate people. Emotions are contagious like diseases. Helping someone who is drowning might seem noble, but could end up dragging you down as well. Unlucky people often attract misfortune toward themselves and pass it on to others around them. You might think you're helping a friend who constantly gets into trouble or breaks simple rules, but in reality, you're putting yourself at risk. Instead of surrounding yourself with such individuals, seek out happy and active people who inspire positivity and growth. While you can guide an unfortunate friend toward better choices, remember that they must ultimately choose their own path. Law 6. Appeal to self-interest when asking for help. When seeking help from someone, appeal to their self-interest rather than relying on pity or gratitude. There's no need to remind them of past favors you've done for them. They will likely find a way to ignore or dismiss your request anyway. Instead, frame your request in a way that highlights how helping you benefits them directly. When people see personal gain in assisting you, they will respond eagerly. Law 7. Act boldly. If you're unsure about what you're doing, don't act at all. Hesitation will undermine your efforts. However, if action is necessary, Do it boldly. Mistakes made with boldness can often be corrected with even greater boldness. People admire confidence and courage. No one respects fear or hesitation. For instance, one of my friends once attended a job interview for a position he knew little about but managed to pass successfully. When I asked how he did it, he said there were several questions he couldn't answer during the interview. However, he maintained a positive attitude throughout and confidently told the interviewer that he would learn whatever was necessary and become the best employee in their department. A few months later, his hiring manager admitted that his boldness was the only reason he got hired. Most candidates wouldn't have even dared attend the interview under similar circumstances. Law 8. Ignore what you cannot have. It's the best revenge. Acknowledging something gives it life. By paying attention to an enemy or problem, you make it stronger. A small mistake often becomes worse when you try too hard to fix it. Sometimes it's better to leave things as they are. If there's something you want but cannot have, ignore it. The less interest you show in something or someone, the more superior you appear. By ignoring enemies entirely, you render them powerless while frustrating them in the process. Law 9. Beware of free offers. They are rarely free. What is offered for free often comes with hidden obligations or risks. It's better to pay full price up front than deal with unexpected consequences later. Paying for something frees you from feelings of guilt or obligation while ensuring transparency in transactions. For example, standing in line for hours just to get a cheap product isn't truly free. You've paid with your time. Similarly, free shipping isn't actually free. Its cost is usually hidden within the product's price. Law 10. Avoid following in great men's footsteps. What comes first is usually seen as better and more original than what follows after it. If you're replacing someone great, or if you come from a family of high achievers, you'll need twice as much success just to stand out from their shadow. For example, imagine starting a new job where your predecessor was one of the company's top performers who set high standards for success in that role. People will naturally compare your performance with theirs and expect similar results from you, or even better ones. To succeed under these circumstances without being overshadowed by their legacy, either outperform them significantly, which may not always be feasible, or carve out a unique path for yourself so comparisons become irrelevant. Law 11. Promote change but avoid overdoing it. While everyone generally understands the need for change, humans are creatures of habit who love doing what they're accustomed to doing. Excessive innovation can lead to fear and anger among those resistant to change. This will result in opposition against your efforts. If you've just reached a position of power or are working on building power at any level, always respect traditional methods first. If change is necessary, present it as a gentle improvement over past practices rather than an overhaul. Law 12. Never appear too perfect. When people perceive that you're better than they are, they may develop intense feelings of resentment toward you. Looking superior can be dangerous. However, appearing flawless is even riskier as it breeds silent jealousy among enemies. It can be wise at times to display minor flaws so as not to provoke envy. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this video. If you enjoyed our content, please subscribe and give us energy by hitting the like button.